Hello, greetings, one and all. Every little thing she does is magic. Every little, I don't know. That's what that intro theme makes me think of. Jeremiah, what did that sound like to you?
Sound like nothing. It's muted when you're
Oh, okay.
doing this side.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm Tony, everybody. I am here in LPHQ East, just a few miles away from the gray, cloudy sky of where Jeremiah is. Jeremiah, what's going on?
Not much. We're here at EPCOT. We're doing Who's the Boss? Oh wait, no, that
No,
just ended.
that's no, on YouTube. That's still happening with our own Mike Celestino. But if you're on Facebook trying to watch, you probably won't see us just yet, according to what I'm seeing. But we'll be on eventually there.
We're at EPCOT, just strolling around. I haven't been here in about 26 days at least.
Now, you were just in the Canada Pavilion, and you tried to experience something new, right?
Yes, the Chateau de Voyageur, the DVC sales office. So I was out of the country when that had opened, and I hadn't read anything about it, but I've been watching the construction for what seems like years. So I was like, oh, let me go check it out. It is literally a sales office. You can go in and get a tour of, as Tony told me, the Island Tower room, but that's only if you're a prospective buyer of the Disney Vacation Club, or if you are a member, you can go in and get a tour of it. But other than that, it's
With an
not open to the
appointment.
public.
With
Yeah.
an appointment, yeah. You can't just walk up. The big thing that I saw when I was there was how many members thought it was a lounge, and that is not what it is. It is by appointment only with a sales guide if you're a prospective buyer or if you're an existing member already looking to add more points to your membership. It's not a lounge. It's not anything that anybody can just pop into. It's not like help me out, Jeremiah. You were just over there at California Adventure, the Golden Vine House. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. At California Adventure, where you can go in and get more information and have a water or anything like that. This is strictly appointment only. And in my opinion, kind of a big loss for Epcot because that was something at one point in time. Granted, it's been decades,
Yeah, I
but
never made it there when the store was still there.
now it's literally a DVC office. So it's
Yeah.
similar to what you would find at Saratoga Springs, but inside a park that could be used. I would take that as an AP lounge. I would take that as pretty much anything else. So,
But as we saw yesterday, the parks lead the way in revenue for the Walt Disney Company, and included in those parks is Disney Vacation Club. So, and here comes that rain that you had mentioned. It's starting about 20 minutes. That was about 20 minutes ago. So,
is that now? I'm wondering now because does that count? Because technically, I would own it. So I don't know.
um, but the funny thing is, as you pointed out, I can't think of the one in California Adventure, but the Starlight Lounge on the upper level of the Carousel building,
Mhm.
um, that apparently they just put in a model for, but it is also a lounge to sit and relax. I mean, I know that that space isn't massive, but
Yeah.
again, it, yeah,
Because
I think,
especially at Epcot, you already have the Imagination Pavilion upstairs,
yeah,
which is for DVC only. I almost said the Odyssey one, but that was interchangeable with the upstairs at Imagination. But then you have the other one at Magic Kingdom, the
yes,
McKim
the McKim
House.
House.
Uh, those are the only two I can think of offhand. The rest are
Yeah,
kind of like sales kiosks or maybe even a sales lounge. But this is the first one we've seen that's strictly no access without an appointment or perspective like interest. So
yeah, that used to be. Sorry, this is DVC talk with Tony and Jeremiah.
yep.
Everyone, please, if you're a DVC member, please comment in the in the notes to see what you think about this. Yeah, that used to be over at Saratoga Springs. You'd make the
Yeah.
reservation, they put you in the vehicle, they'd take you there, they'd give you the tour, and then you get some ice cream at the end. That shows
still
how long it's
is.
been for me.
It still is at Saratoga Springs, but they don't give you. I don't think they give you ice cream or the one
No.
drop. I remember was the fast passes. They would still give
Yeah.
you fast passes to anything. But yeah, that's not a thing anymore. Speaking of comments, though, Fred says greetings to you, Fred. My computer I'm using is not a touch screen, so that's not working. And then Fred wants to know: have you seen? We don't call it Thunderbolts anymore, but have you seen Thunderbolts yet?
I did see the new Avengers. I saw it the Friday. I didn't see it the Thursday night. I was doing something that day, but I made a point to see it Friday, and I'm glad that I did because they weren't kidding when they're like, spoilers going to kick in at this time on this day, that
Yeah.
Monday. This is no longer Thunderbolts.
It was when I was talking about that in a group chat of friends, and I mentioned a part of the marketing, and a friend of mine just goes, "Well, that's ruined. Sorry. If you step outside, it would be ruined too."
Yes, they did not hold back on any of that marketing, which is great. And have you seen the movie? I know you're not a big Marvel person.
I have not.
It is very good.
But I've heard I might want to see this one. So
yeah, no, it definitely returns to the pre-in-game days of Marvel feeling movies where it's connected.
My apologies to Fred. Spoiler alert. Geez, not everyone watching has seen the movie. I would feel a little more empathy if Marvel Studios themselves hadn't gone and switched out every poster, every tweet on their website, tweeted it, showed Sebastian Stan replacing the posters,
which I
bus
love.
stops. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Yeah,
everything. I would say we're probably the last to spoil it. But
yeah, I'm not spoiling by saying it is a great movie.
Yeah.
Go see it. Lots of fun. Like seriously, the heart and the laughter there makes me very excited, especially for Fantastic Four coming up. So I will probably end up seeing it again probably this weekend at some point when I don't want to go outside when it's Florida.
I did our post for the name change, and our internal doc title I called The New Avengers of Old Christine, and Kyle approved it, our editor, and so that's what I call the movie from now on. The New Avengers of Old Christine, which, if you recall, is a sitcom starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus, The New Adventures of Old Christine.
Oh, jeez.
We love our deep cut sitcom references. So
that's really deep cut. Now that you said that, I'm like, okay, I remember it, but I never watched it because that was early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, when things stopped being streaming and stopped being cable, that in between time. We are at EPCOT talking about everything else but EPCOT. Journey of Water, inspired by Moana.
Does this still have a virtual queue to get in?
Yes. Speaking of virtual queue, Moana herself meeting has quite a queue over there. Let's see. It is her in her new outfit still. She is, as far as I have heard, still meeting in her original outfit. This is the Moana 2 and Moana, the original Moana outfit she meets at Animal Kingdom. So I guess there are plenty of characters that are different costumes, but none that have costumes from different films in two different locations.
Alexa points out it's funny seeing Florida gloomy now that LA is hot and sunny for the weekend.
Yeah, let's not talk about hot and sunny because
it might be gray, but I'm sure outside right now it is. I have a temperature of 89, which probably feels like 96.
Yeah, so. Day before yesterday, when I went into the Magic Kingdom, I was like, I don't know, because I have not been in the Florida weather for a little while, so I have not gotten used to it. And the project tomorrow on this side, the walkways are closed.
Is that for Sphere 71?
Geo 82, yes.
Geo 82, yes.
Yes, I'm sure that is because while we don't know exactly the entrance, the cast member and the old entrance for that one used to be the Ma Bell, DE, any Siemens Lounge was
I
over
know
there.
if you go in there, also part of it's walled off. When I saw it the other day, was it walled off or was it just barriered? They might have just had like the nylon ropes, but either way, a chunk of the inside of Project Tomorrow was also cordoned off. Is my point.
Well, when we get over to that side, we'll see if we can walk in there and check it out.
Cool.
Bringing you true.
Now, coming up on
Inside
your
Epcot.
left, is it still not quite Tent City with all the pin traders?
It is still very prominent. And again, this is why I say that they might as well just drop the virtual or the reservation system. If this many people can just come here and pin trade, and this is a lower number,
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't matter anymore.
I agree with that sentiment. Although I would argue that's more for, I think California has the bigger complaints with the reservation system. I know between good to go days and the after 2 thing and everything out here, there have been more asterisks to it, but I know Disney management likes knowing how many people are coming, so I don't think that reservation system's going anywhere.
That's the thing. If they got rid of the reservation system, I feel like things would level out again. And that's, that's just something that I've seen of. There are days where it's packed because people can get reservations for those days. But then there are days when it's completely empty and there are no reservations. So, but like you said, they like to know, quote unquote, even though I still feel like, again, like you said, the good to go days, the after 2, the hopping, it's, for the first 10 minutes how many people will be
basically,
in each park.
Fred says, here's something interesting I found out on this day 20 years ago. Live with Regis and Kelly filmed 2 episodes at Disneyland to celebrate their 50th anniversary. That is likely true. All of that was taking place around this week right now. So
it was May 5th, 05.
Jeremiah hanging outside the gates, Kelsey Grammer not watching his step, all kinds of fun. 3 new rides and attractions at where are we at? Walt Disney World for some reason for Disneyland's 50th.
3.
I immediately think of what was it at Animal Kingdom?
Well, there was Cinderella Breakin',
at Magic Kingdom,
Lights Motor Action,
Studios,
Soarin',
Epcot.
I could swear that there was something else.
Animal Kingdom didn't get anything until 06, and that was Everest.
Yeah, but I really seem to recall the pin set. There were 4 different pins for it, but I don't know.
If anything,
but we
it was maybe like a
something.
show. Jam and Jungle was 100 Years of Magic. Anyway, go on. Sorry, you're at the door.
Yes, where there is just a fire hydrant or fire extinguisher, so we were safe. But yeah, this door and the exit sign is covered with a nice little tarp. So we'll see come June 4th. Is this June 4th? That this opens?
Pyramid 99 opening date. Let me look at it. June 4th. Confirmed.
And they just put out the menus with lots of not lots of small plates, but plenty of small plates and drinks. I do love they actually include price ranges. where the small planes are, I think, between 19 and 25, and then the cocktails between $23 and $28 each.
But what's the most important part about GO82?
Being able to not see the fireworks during their fireworks view.
But if I wanted to watch the fireworks from up there, there's a guideline I have to admit to.
Oh, I didn't even see that part. What is it?
Oh,
The
it's
guidelines?
well, you have to be 21 to go in GO82.
Oh, yes.
It is not 18 and up. It is not for everybody. It is 21 and over.
Yep. Real bar. Yeah, and again, everybody that's paying, I think it's $200 for the fireworks view. That is not a good fireworks view. And I want to know what they're going to do come Christmas.
The plus side is Luminous is only fireworks and fountains and lasers. So there's no screens, there's no media, there's no mist screens.
Yeah.
It's just all colors on water and in the sky. So it might not be the best view, but at least you're encapsulating it. You don't have to worry about, oh, is there something on a screen I need to see? Any kind of projections. Hello to
there.
Disney Adventure Wallace. Hi. For a half a second, and this is purely for the coloring. The coloring on your icon, Disney Adventure Wallace, reminded me of the press photo of Buzzy at Wonders of Life from back in the day. But I don't know what this is. Do you know, Jeremiah? Since you're at EPCOT on this day in 2002, the Beaver Brown Band began a 2-day engagement there. I immediately in Canada Pavilion, but
no, I'd probably guess for Flower Power back then.
Okay.
It wasn't Garden Rocks, but Flower in 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been Flower Power because we'd still be in Flower and Garden at this point, even though it was shorter. It was probably right at the end of that season. Oh, wait for it. Let's see if we can have a little Who's the Boss talk. Is it still going on?
Is it still going on? I know Fred told us a few seconds ago 2 of your shows are going on at the same time. We're aware. But I just popped over to that channel, and there are Who's the Boss is still going on right now. Which also means that we will not be seen on Facebook at the moment. And Fred points out it is Flower Power Concert Series. Yes. Does it extend on its own?
No, this is not that cool. Also, if you've not seen the coaxium sipper that they're now selling at both Disney Hollywood Studios and Disneyland, that thing launches the coaxium tube pretty quickly. Like, I opened that to look at it yesterday, and if I wasn't quick enough, that thing would have gone and cracked and tumbled.
That's why they call it a tumbler. Is that the Sorcerer Mickey Starbucks tumbler you just walked by?
That one?
It is. Are those marked down yet?
Nope, $39.99. This one, because it is metal, is $49.99. You know, I don't know. I do judge people that have to have every single one of these tumblers. These are crazy. I mean, $29.99 for that one, and this is not something you can store in your cabinet that easily, because after you get 4 of those, you have no more space.
We have 4 of the 6 park ones, so I take offense to your comment.
Well, no, I will give you 4 of the 6, but those people that I saw this first.
The ones that have to get every color, every texture. Yeah, no, I got you.
The collectors, and as a pen trader that was very crazy, I also know, that, I have to do it. But the lines for popcorn buckets on May 4th were crazy. I couldn't even find the ends of them at times.
But let's be real, which one did you get?
I didn't buy any of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, the coaxium sipper, I really liked. The Jawa sipper is very cute, but my ongoing joke, and anytime somebody talks to me, is like, I just wait a month and then I'll go on Facebook Marketplace for people who are selling it, because They have no space for them.
Yeah. I think you walked by it and I missed it. Fred says, "Whoa, Disney Channel! When will they have a Toon Disney shirt? We call that Disney XD now."
Yes, I
Jose wants
walked.
to say, "Love seeing all the merch. I plan on visiting the first week of June. How's the weather normally during this time? Thanks in advance." Uh,
Jose,
like pretty much like what you see now.
make sure you, and I was never a big, proponent of the fans and all that. But yeah, after last summer, I think I now have three different types of fans because as you can hear, the wind is blowing right now, but middle of or early June, it's just sun. It is Florida at its worst, which means it is hot.
When was the last time you were at Islands of Adventure? We're talking about a Universal Park on our talk at Epcot.
Yeah. Originally, I was going to try to do a walk and talk for Epic, but weather stopped that thought. It's been probably a month and a half or so.
So I was there a couple nights ago, getting my steps in, and I walked through Jurassic Park, and there were A-frames that were talking about the new uh, cool off zone in Jurassic
Oh, yeah,
Park,
I saw those.
and I was like, "What?" So I go investigate what it is. It was a rotating misting fan tucked away in the corner where the rock climbing used to be. I was like, okay, they used to have these all over the queues, but I guess that doesn't matter anymore.
No, and that has definitely become a thing because as Jose, who is coming in early June, will find out, it is just hot. And it's not you get a relief. No, it's hot when you wake up, it's hotter in the day, and then it's hot at night.
Before you get too far, stop and turn around. And take us over by Test Track, and then we'll walk that way towards Mexico. That way we kind of see what's going on over there.
Oh, hey, good call. Good call.
Fred says, "I know about Disney XD, but I don't think we'll ever top Toon Disney." What are your box office predictions for the upcoming remake of Lilo and Stitch? I think it'll do well. I don't have specifics, but
Have
I
you
think
heard the
it'll do well.
new version of Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride?
I just did in the new clip, which might be on Laughing Place already. If not, be sure to check it out soon.
I'm
But
sure that it
I
is
did
streaming.
enjoy it. I enjoyed it.
It is, it's good. I don't think it's as upbeat and peppy as the original one, but again, it's not. They're just re-recording the same thing, so it's fun. And as I've stated with everything, you can still enjoy the original and enjoy the new ones. And I'm looking forward to the new Lilo and Stitch.
Hello, Curtis.
What's up, Curtis?
I am not a big live action adaptation person. In my opinions always go watch the original, but Lilo and Stitch does have my attention. And I think it's funny that there was a moratorium on live action remakes after Snow White kind of bombed and tanked. But I think Lilo and Stitch will get that moratorium lifted, and it'll be full speed ahead with more. So
I don't know if they'll go, because I think the Rapunzel one or the Tangled was the next one in the canon. And I think that, again, it's either remake the original Lion King or Lilo and Stitch, or change it up like Cruella or Maleficent.
I like when you mix it up. I enjoy Cruella.
Yeah, Snow White. I'm one of the few that actually enjoyed Snow White. Other than the Wicked Queen, but it was because it wasn't the exact same Snow White. It wasn't the same story that we know. It was a new take on it, and I had fun, and the music's good, but definitely in the minority for that one. Also, there's a kid walking into the playground over there who bought one of those Remy chef's hats that has the light where Remy, and he was wearing it, and I kind of felt like I should tell him that he's going to pass out if he keeps wearing it. Let's see. I can hear the vehicles running. We still don't have a date on this, correct?
No.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was there the other day myself, and I kept hearing everybody in that vicinity, pretty much where you are now, up to about the Odyssey and up to about Mission Space and by Brunchcott or whatever it's called now.
Mhm.
Uh, that vicinity, everybody in that area, I heard at least one person say, in each party, "Oh, are they going to open it today?" Even though there's
Yeah.
walls still up and everything.
There's what, 4 cars blocking the entrance? Yeah.
Are they still?
Yes.
Okay. I know there's trucks inside the fence now from recent monorail trips. So
Yeah, and the new covering for the entrance.
mhm.
I like it because it has uh, road stripes on it, so it looks much like you're going into a. Oh, hey, there's nobody here.
Weather. It started raining.
Yeah. Looks like you're on the road, which will be a great entryway into it. Also, I like that it's not massive like the last covering was, and it's also not
It's
something that they have to worry about taking down in case
it's
of a hurricane.
sleeker. It's pretty. It doesn't look like a temporary convention setting.
Yeah.
I think that looks a lot better as long as that little middle part doesn't become like one of those little LED screens that like says words and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like the old school
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
No, the way it looks, I'm guessing that will be the test track sign. I don't think they'll have the separation of the lines up there because it's too high. Nobody will notice it. But could see that being the test track 3.0 or whatever the asterisks mean. It's the new test track. That's what it is. The new
Now
test track.
that lounge up there with all those windows, is that going to become Circle 97? No? Okay.
I don't think so. That is not an easy one to get to, even though it is much larger than the Geo, and plus uh, Chevy or whichever branch of General Motors is sponsoring it. That'll still stay there lounge, I'm sure.
I don't know if you can tell. I don't like the name Geo 82. I like the aesthetic. I like the look. I like the 21 and up. I like the glassware. I just don't like the name.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I definitely went on yesterday to try to see if I can get a reservation for it, which it I'm sure booked up in the first 30 seconds. But again, I
Well,
don't
especially because it's
drink.
so small.
Yeah, no, I think the capacity. I'm sure it's more than Trader Sam's, but I don't see it being more than like. I'm going low, and I'm saying 50 people is the max. And
I would guess it's about, well, yeah, you're probably right.
because it
So I was gonna
really
say, I guess
depends.
it's about the same as Trader Sam's, but even Trader Sam's has like the outdoor area and stuff too.
Yeah. No, this I'm guessing they uh the backstage stuff they used to have, the offices for the people, they pushed into that probably more. And I think I've only been up there once, and that was well over a decade ago. Can we get let's get a who's the boss update, shall we?
Let's have a look. So I'm streaming with my laptop, and I put it on my desk and pushed my other stuff back, but I keep reaching for the mouse, and they are still going over on Who's the Boss. They are still discussing Andor, a Star Wars Story, Season 2, Arc 3.
Remember that time when we were supposed to be doing a walk and talk?
Apparently,
Yeah,
he
the
was
cars.
unaware of that, so I'll give him the excuse there. But I don't even hear the cars. Do you hear them?
Yeah, hang on one second. One should be coming. They were like every 60 seconds as I was walking, and now none of them are going.
Part of me wonders if it's your microphone, which isn't a bad thing, but I know
Yeah, I have
in
my
recent
AirPods in.
streams, uh, in recent streams, it's very isolated. I don't know if that's a setting change or something, but between you and Mike when he's at Disneyland and not
Yeah,
doing Star Wars, Who's the Boss, as he is now.
I've heard Mike's is like so isolated you hear nothing else other
No,
than
yeah,
him.
it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I like the ambiance of the park too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all of our viewers do as well. So it's just kind of, I'm not going to say off-putting, but it's just a little jarring just to only hear Mike when you know that jazz musician is playing on Buena Vista Street.
You know, when there are actual things going on around.
Yep.
And that's something, you know, if any of our watchers that aren't watching Who's the Boss right now have any input on that, I would be more than happy to change back to my headphones. Hey, look, we're bringing back this
Oh,
feature.
all right. A while back, we were having conversations about what water fountain has the best tasting water at Walt Disney World. Jeremiah, where's that one rank?
This one's a little bit lower. The water's not cold. Pressure was you know, but
Hello to you
at
too,
this,
Sonia. Greetings.
at this point, water is water. And one of the things I found
And in
out
about 10 minutes, it'll be dripping down your back because that's how Florida is.
yes, well, either that or it'll be falling on my head. The sun has come out just in time for this.
I was told
There's
it
a
would come
nice
out
view.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow's supposed to be a higher chance of rain.
That's also true. I was making a bad musical theater pun, but
I think Annie's a good musical.
my pun was bad.
Actually, no, I saw Annie in its last tour, and I was like, you know, they're trying to update it and it doesn't, you know, yes, it's a classic story, but it's not one of those things that I need an update for, but not as bad as
Hello.
not as bad as the Peter Pan update where the darling children are sitting in a room playing on their iPads.
Is that like in a theater where that happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this last tour, the newest Peter Pan tour is updated.
It's not set in the modern era.
Hey, look, new concrete. Sorry.
Oh, don't get me started on how we can make this pinch point any worse. Is there selective closings of this corridor here?
But no, it is updated. They are in present day, and yes, it's. But when they go to Neverland, it is still a timeless place. Speaking of, are they going to actually put something in that weird little alcove that's sat empty for as long as I can remember? Or...
I think it's just paving again.
Yeah.
Because that little display, the backdrop where the characters meet, is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Nope, we're getting a little bit of rain.
Space for that.
So we were coming up to Norway, which houses Frozen Ever After. I was just lucky enough to be in Hong Kong and ride their Frozen Ever After. Talk about taking a good attraction and making it just that much better. Go over to our YouTube once Mike's done.
I mean, you could still play the videos.
Yeah. Look up Frozen Ever After Hong Kong.
How about once we're done?
Yes, that's that too. Well, we'll probably be done before Mike's done. And just watch. And if you're familiar with the attraction here, they rebuilt the attraction. I mean, but they didn't keep the same weird waterways that Maelstrom had. But just also the figures have faces. It's not the projection. And everybody was always telling me how much it changes the feel of it. It does.
For sure. I've even seen just videos of that, and I agree with that. Yeah.
This is the lightning lane end for Frozen. Wow. Lightning Lane is all the way back to the walkway, and the standby line looks pretty short. I mean, I know it's not short. Oh, and speaking of lines, I didn't even record the queue for that in that. I like turned a corner thinking, okay, very much like the one here. No, it just keeps going and going, and then you go up ramps, and it keeps going, and then you get to the village, and then you're like, oh, it should be done. Nope, keeps going. Speaking of Hong Kong, no, we're in China.
The dragon on the left, or is it the bonsai? It's the bonsai.
The bonsais, the Penjing. So, do we think Equatorial Africa will become Abu Dhabi?
I am not sure. Although the way I've seen it marketed, and even on on Laffy Plates, we've done it too. A lot of people correlate it with Aladdin, and I don't know if that means Morocco might become it, but we'll see.
Oh, I hope. Anyway, yes, for those of you who also may not have noticed the big news from yesterday, Disney Abu Dhabi is coming. And I don't know if you watched the CNBC interview.
Mm.
Bob Iger pretty much says it's at least like 6 years out.
Well, my favorite part of it, and this might be paraphrasing more than an exact quote, but they basically talked about the art that we saw, that map, kind of the overhead view.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about that, and he basically said that's all going to change. Nothing, like, we have everybody developing it, but that piece of art, don't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not even epic, where at least they had some type of concept. You know, Bob Iger's words himself were, this like finalized just 3 months ago now.
In
Yes.
February, yeah.
So
they've been saying it's been in the works, quote unquote, and I'm using very aggressive quote fingers, since 2017, when I guess he first went out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing was. I think they just started talking last fall, and then it got finalized in February.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already had to console friends who were like, well, this means we're not going to get Villains Land now. This means we're not going to get this. We're not going to get that. And I said, this is completely paid for by somebody else. This does not affect any of that. And my personal theory is, in fact, we'll probably see Abu Dhabi get a Villains Land that looks a lot like Florida's, because that's how they'll get right off the expense. They'll have it all for that development.
If you watch the CNBC interview, both Josh and Bob say quite a few times of, oh, hang on. Okay. So one solar trash can. They both say that the money that is going from, I can't think of the company, is being reinvested. So essentially, 2 solar trash cans. 3 solar trash cans. Holy macanoli. So yeah, I think we have nothing to worry about. In fact, I think it's gonna benefit the states more than anything else. And this will be just like Tokyo, where they pay for the R&D and we benefit from it.
Yep.
4 solar trash cans. Thank you. I was gonna do that, but okay. 5 solar trash cans.
And a guest who was confused.
Yes. What did you call me? 6.
That would make sense if Captain EO were still around.
Yes.
See you later, trash cans.
6, 7, 8.
But only in this section of World Showcase, right? You're not seeing them throughout. Okay.
No, and the first one was something special. Now there are at least 8. Nope, I see a 9th. This is really living out Walt's dream of being able to walk 33 feet to your next trash can. Okay, the one back there I saw was number 9.
I thought it was 23 for the record, but yes.
I don't think that that's even any type of accurate statement, but the 33 was always the joke because of Club 33. I was like, that's not even close. Okay, so 9 so far, and the one back there is the 9th. Also, I never knew that this building wasn't built behind this. I saw an aerial map, not of the mermaid, and I never knew that they never built the show building for that.
Oh, because everybody always talks about how that wall it's all still there.
Yeah,
but
no,
to an extent it kind of is, but not the show building. No.
Yeah, no, they put the trailers and stuff, and that's back where they have the Magic Music Days stuff. And I always thought whenever they'd say there's a rehearsal hall back there, I always pictured it was in there. And it wasn't until probably a few weeks ago, I was on Facebook, and Parkology, which is an amazing Facebook page to follow if you do not already. They just post fun pictures of Disney stuff. 10 solar trash cans. This is my breaking news that there are 10 solar trash cans. Tony?
Sorry. My big breaking news is that Who's the Boss just ended. Hello?
Well, welcome to Walk and Talk of EPCOT
Come on over,
Jeremiah and Tony.
And now we're on Facebook. So we are in the Germany pavilion. Hope you enjoyed learning about Andor Season 2 Arc 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. If you're on Facebook, just joining us. But we've been here at EPCOT for 42 minutes now, and Jeremiah has counted 10 solar trash cans?
10 solar trash cans just in the Germany pavilion. I don't understand. I need to reach out to somebody at Disney and get some type of explanation for this.
All trash cans are special, and you know it, Jeremiah, says Alexa.
Yes, but the solar ones are, the new toys.
Fred asks, what do you think will be the biggest movie this summer? Anything on IMAX or screened at the Sphere in Las Vegas?
I so want to go see Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. I saw a clip of that, and I love Wizard of Oz. And while I have no urge to do anything at the Sphere, seeing that movie in there just seems like it'd be amazing. I'm going to say flat out, it's going to be Fantastic Four.
Will that be screened on 70 millimeter, 7-story tall screens? Because that would then be a pretty big movie.
It was filmed for IMAX, just like the new Avengers was filmed for IMAX, and I did see it in a real IMAX theater in Universal Hollywood, and it's pretty impressive in IMAX.
Alexa says Germany is famously sunny. Don't you know? Is that why all the kids keep talking about Brat Summer?
I think you're on your own with that one, Tony.
Okay.
Sorry, my friend.
Hooray, I'm not too old, but Jeremiah is, I guess. Sorry. The kids keep talking about a brat summer, Jeremiah.
I thought it's the cool kid summer.
Serving up high-key brat. Kyle just came over from watching Who's the Boss because that was outstanding. Thanks, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. Thanks for joining us 45 minutes later.
Fred wants to know, which team are you excited to see the most in Avengers Doomsday? In full disclosure, we don't know what teams. We just know a cast. If we want to assemble our own teams based on that cast and divide them in that way, by all means.
No, I'm excited for the entire film. I cannot wait. I was excited because I was in the room when RDJ walked out and took off the mask, and I lost my,
shoes.
And yes, my shoes. I'm excited for that film, and I can't wait. But it's still so far out. Again, Fantastic Four First Steps is following New Avengers, if it's even close to as good as that, which I have a feeling it's going to be better. These movies are just getting better and better.
Oh, you weren't kidding about these DVC guys. Sorry, I'm noticing they're like all, I counted at least 2 in the promenade, not even at the kiosk, just handing stuff out. Wow.
So what time is it right now, Tony?
Earlier, before we went live, we were talking about a certain level of aggression that we have not seen before in DVC guides. But to answer your question, Jeremiah, it is 3:52.
Oh, well, we can walk in and catch the end of my favorites.
We know they're your favorites because every time we see them. And how many videos of Voices of Liberty do we have on the YouTube channel? I would say at least a dozen.
Yes, and apparently I think we're going to get some more coming up soon. But they're about to wrap up. So.
Why don't we go see the actual show? Oh, yeah, we can't hear them with your mic. Fred also points out that he cannot hear them all that well. The Doors, not the music group singing right now, but the actual Doors.
I have just changed it to my iPhone microphone, so you could start to hear it a little bit, but then I could hear you talking and typing more than anything else. I'm like, let me exit here. Apparently everybody's coming directly in.
Alexa says, I can't wait for the day I finally get to see them live. I am one for in-park musical entertainment. Well, they have been there for over 40 years, so I don't think you need to worry about them going anywhere.
Not saying that too loud, Tony. Okay. And on that note,
let's go in the art store.
Yeah, we're definitely cutting this off. I know you couldn't hear that, but
I got an alert. I literally just got an alert that says lightning is striking in my vicinity. So,
and the thunder is rattling this building. Hey, if you want to buy some bubble wands,
go towards the back wall. To the right a little bit.
Your World of Color.
There we go. 7,000. Is that right?
65.
65. Well, it might have gone down. Let's hope for that discount. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Later on tonight at 7 o'clock, we'll have Barely Necessities with Becca and Rebecca. Oh, it's a 4-show Thursday. We're show number 3 that kind of overlapped with show number 2.
Yeah, I'm like, we're more like,
but Barely
2
Necessities,
1/4.
Barely Necessities is tonight at 7, pushed back from Tuesday. So
thank you all for joining us.
Parks, remember to like, subscribe, ring that bell. Thank you for joining us, as Jeremiah says. Kyle says lightning crashes because you're live.
Yeah.
I thought he was just doing the Garth Brooks song when the thunder rolls for a second. From EPCOT, still in the middle of the Flower and Garden Festival, and just walking around the park. So long, everybody.
Peace.